Hello, good evening. Welcome back to Rangers Radio. Hibs 0, Rangers 1 in a misstained strewn game at Easter Road. Join myself, Oxford, back in the show. It's Rudy Bear. All right, Rudy? Thoughts?
Aye, calm down a wee bit now, mate. Yep, I thought it was a scrappy game. I thought, as far as we were concerned, I thought we got into the final third in the first half, and I thought we didn't create much in the final third, Docs. You know, poor decision making, passing at times I didn't think was great. Stonewall had a penalty second half. Doesn't matter how much everybody it's a penalty all day long, Ox, you know, and it was sweet that it was Porteous that gave us a penalty. Said before in the pre-match show, I would take a win no matter how it comes, just for the sake of getting the 3 points. That's a tough place to go. And we got the 3 points, Ox, because Kemar Roof scored the penalty. Brilliant.
I think last week we got 6.5 to maybe 8 out the team. I think tonight we go at 6.5 to maybe 7 out the team, if that makes sense. I mean, it was a mistake-strewn game. I thought we're 2 wide pairs in the first half were non-existent. Kent a wee bit better in the second half, obviously got us a penalty. Hagi, well, other people commenting that. I thought Morelos couldn't get into the game. Could have hit the target with a header, just a wee bit behind him, but it was what a goal that would have been. The back four, I didn't think Barisic started well. Tav was okay without being spectacular. Golson in defence was okay. When he brought the ball forward, I think he tried to make an impossible pass about 3 times, gave it away. Though the piece, maybe our most consistent player again was Big Bassey.
Big Bassey, yeah.
He wasn't fantastic, mate.
No, but going by what you watched tonight, you know, I would have to say Bassey's starting to really make that position his own until Helander comes back, that is, you know, and even then there might be a fight for it if he keeps improving, you know, and learning his position and, you know, getting his positional sense correct and coaching, getting that right in coaching. But Ox, Easter Road's a hard place to go, and you could see they were totally up for it, you know. It was an exciting game to watch in many respects, you know, due to the amount of wayward passes for both teams, not just Rangers, for both teams, you know. And there was times when we couldn't keep the ball for 2 or 3 passes, and they were the same as well, you know. But Ryan Kent, I thought Ryan Kent really tried to make stuff happen. A lot of stuff wasn't coming off for him. But he didn't stop. He kept trying, Ox. That was the thing. That's the important thing about Ryan.
I just didn't think he had a good game out.
No, I don't think many of them did. I would have took Hagi off at half time. I'll be honest, I'd have took Hagi off and put Sakala in that position at half time.
I think you've been generous with about 44 minutes, but that's just a personal point of view. Listen, I get it, and you want the boys to play well. I thought we always looked to more likely to score, if that makes sense, breaking away and getting into situations. But passing, I think the one that summed it up was when Stephen Davis passed out to Aribo, and it looks as if he's dummied it for Ryan Kent. I hope he's dummied it either. He's missed it.
The impression I got at the time was that Stephen Davis hadn't passed it correctly to him and then hit it behind him as opposed to in front of him, you know. But you might be right, because Ryan Kent was behind Aribo then, wasn't he? So maybe...
Aribo seemed to leave it. Look, I might be wrong, mate. I've only seen it once, so that summed up us in possession. But, as we all said before the game, it was all about the result, mate, and we got the result, and we're actually 7 points clear at the top of the league in morning.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It just shows you how things change over the seasons, doesn't it? 7 points clear. Puts a bit of pressure on them. I know it's all about us, Ox, but it does put a bit of pressure on them. They now have to go out and win tomorrow. A big Hearts supporting buddy says we'll try and do a wee turn tomorrow. But 7 points clear so far, Ox. You know, I'll take that all day long. I said to you in the pre-match show, I didn't care how we got the win. I'd love to have seen us bang in 3 or 4 goals and play some brilliant football. But I didn't really care in the end up how it came about, just as long as we got the 3 points. You know, you're into December now. These games are going to be tough away from home. And if it means going there, Kemar's post-match said, you know, these are tough places to come. It's just about getting the 3 points. He's 100% right, Ox. That's exactly right.
Here, mate. And if it goes the way the league table is at the moment, we might not be back there again this season.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Not having to go back Easter Road, eh?
I'll tell you what, well, Dave, we'll get the phone lines opened if that's all right with you, brother.
That sounds great, Ox.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, all about the result. I thought the two keepers could have sat in the stand, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, it was just one of the games where a lot of play on both sides broke down when it got to the final third. It was really scrappy. It was a scrappy game. I thought, I'm more interested in us than them, though. I mean, I thought some of the decision-making in the final third was very poor, especially in the first half, Fox, and maybe even into the second half as well. Some of the decision-making was poor. Thought Hagi was poor the night. I expected better of him. We spoke about him in the pre-match show. Expected a bit better for Hagi in it, but I thought he was poor.
I'll take the Fifth Amendment on that one, if that's all right with you.
I don't think you have to tell me, Ox. I get that. And Alfredo was, I don't know, I mean, some of the passes he was trying to knock sideways were just terrible. Alfredo seemed to be back to his, just trying things that just weren't coming off for him, I honestly, I mentioned about bringing Sakala on, Ox. I would have brought Sakala.
I was wanting Sakala on with about half an hour to go. I would have took one of the wide men off, and I would have made like a clump for. I don't know. It would have been Hagi or Kent. That was my choice to take it.
I think I personally had gone with Hagi because I thought Kent was at least trying to make things happen. And all right, he was poor and nothing was coming off from Ox. But there he goes, the penalty. Hagi didn't produce anything, I thought, the night,
Anyway, we've been joined by somebody who always produces, well, so the ladies say. We've been joined by Robert. How are we doing, Robert?
Hi, Robert.
The bluebells are blue. Good evening, Ox. And good evening, Rudy. How we doing, guys?
Evening, Robert.
It's all about the result, Robert.
Listen, let's not kid ourselves. That was, as Big Stevie would say, that was a honky performance. It wasn't very good. No creating chances and stuff like that. But you know what? We got the result, and that's what matters. 1-0, and you don't have a good performance, you won 1-0. That's championship performances for me.
I didn't know where we were going to get the goal, and the substitutes we took with some of our pace and power at the team, but ultimately the manager got it right, mate.
I'll be honest, we see at half time, I'm shouting to Gary, come on, he needs to make substitutes, get Arfield on, get Sakala on, and then we would go to the 55th minute. I'm not going to lie, I'm like that. What's he doing? He's like Gerrard here. He needs to make substitutes because it's all Habs in the second half here, although they never created chances. So I wasn't very happy, but that's why Giovanni's the manager and I'm not. So at the end of the day, I'm delighted. And I've got to say straight away, I thought, and I've been criticising two of the Rangers players in the last couple of months, I thought Glenn Kamara was outstanding. He's my man in the match.
No,
and I thought Glenn Kamara was outstanding, and I've been critical of Glenn Kamara saying he's only had one or two decent games this season, and I also thought, if I'm being honest, another one I've been critical of, I thought Bonner done okay. Didn't he get? Yeah, definitely second half. Didn't he get forward? Didn't he put all the balls into the box as they've done in the past? Like Tab was the same. But I've got to give pass marks to Bonner and Big Shirley once again. He never done anything outstanding, but you know what he done was good. And I just see watching that guy. I just love watching that guy because, as I said before in the last show, he gives everything and he puts a lot out there, and that's all Rangers fans want. See, if you give your all and leave the shirt out in the pitch, you can't ask for much more.
I tell you what, obviously we've played Hibs 3 times this season. That boy Nisbet's not a bad player, mate. He's not a bad player.
Well, can you tell me, because I do believe in the last transfer window, I believe we tried to get him. I don't know if it's true. I've also been told he's a blue nose. Now, I don't know if that's true or no. But I've also been told that, and we tried to get him, and it failed doing it last minute, and that's why we let Big Akin go, because we thought we were getting him, and we let Big Akin go. I don't know.
I've obviously read rumours, but listen, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask Giovanni tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, but one thing also, you better no upset Mr. Bridgeman. It was brilliant to hear him on the show the night, the Rangers Radio legend Bridgeman. But you better no ask him to want to sign to end this, because he'll tell you straight out, don't give Scottish football any money.
I know, but he sort of shot himself in the foot because he made a contribution to Hibs because he went to the semi-final, mate. So his principles are gone, mate. But that's another story.
I know.
Right. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a great game, Robert. But I thought we looked more likely to score on the piece, but we just couldn't get it together. We huffed and puffed.
Aye. Can I ask you a question? Do you not think we were a bit static? Now I love Sir Stephen Davis, but I just think
he didn't have a good game.
See that man in the first half after about 16 minutes, and he burst forward with the ball, and he had no energy, no pace, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not good enough. See, as a Rangers player, you need a Barry Ferguson, or you need a two guy, or you need somebody like that. A Van Bronckhorst to burst forward. And I don't mean to criticise Sir Stephen because he's been a great servant to us, right? But I've got to be honest, I think he's moved past his best, and it's no time we need to look to bring somebody in there that can give us the energy and drive us forward, because that's what Rangers are missing. But we'll know it, and Ryan Jack does his best, but unfortunately he has all these injuries. But we need someone in that midfield to drive us forward, and that's what's missing. No, what's wrong? We've got too many tippy-tappy players like Hagi. I'm disappointed with his performance tonight, and I don't mean to criticise. Joe Aribo, he's been outstanding for us, we can't really criticise. But again, it's all too tippy-tappy. We need that driving midfield.
Sometimes when it works, it's good. Anyway, we've also been joined by Andy from Crookston. How we doing, Andy?
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, Robert. How you doing? Good evening,
I'm good, Andy.
Good. Wasn't the best performance, but they say 3 points is all that matters.
I'm going to get Andy for Leeds to watch that back tonight and let him put him to sleep.
Yeah. For me, I think on the overall performances, there wasn't many standouts really. But for me, I think Big Bassey's grown into that centre-back role quite well, to be honest.
Really, thoughts?
I totally agree, 100%. I said that at the start of the show. I don't know how much longer Big Phil Hellender's going to be out, but he's certainly starting to make that jersey hasn't he? Some
Absolutely.
Really good performance. He was solid. I thought he was pretty solid tonight. Another good performance for a young centre-back. He's not even a centre-back, he's a left-back, but in the centre-back position, I just thought it was a solid performance from him. I think there'll be a bit of a fight for that jersey when Balogun's back fit again.
Let's be honest, the boys come into the team, 3 games, we've lost 1 goal, and we've kept 2 clean sheets against the Czechs and away Eastern Road.
So, Austin asked you the question, and is that the difference then with our central defence? Did you look at Big Shirley at the last game? He was helping out Big Balogun, Big Borna Barisic. Is that the difference in our team now that we've got somebody who knows what they're doing? And let's be honest about it. When we looked at the Prague game and that, Big Shirley carry plate centre half. Well, I think now we've got to eat our words, because typical Rangers fans, we don't give them a chance in a certain position and we criticise. That's just us because we want to win all the time. But you know what? I think in the last 4 or 5 games, Big Shirley's been outstanding. And
he's been my most consistent since he came out to the team the last 3 games. Andy, I think it's because he uses a wee bit of balance with pace, and he's also left-footed, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. And he also, we've been left-footed, as you know. He also helps with Borna, and he's night and day for me in that position every week. He's just growing and growing and growing. And as you say, being left-footed is a massive plus. Just going on to another one more topic that I'd like to say, if you don't mind, if Giannis Hagi, if that's the way he wants to play every week, then for me, I hate as what Robert says there. I hate to criticise, but for me, he was woeful tonight. I don't even think he got a 5 tonight. If you ask me, he was terrible. It was misplacing passes. It was kicking the ball at the park. It was just terrible, absolutely terrible.
If it had been up to me, Andy, it'd have been off at half time, mate.
I'm keeping out of this conversation. I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. Carry on.
No, Andy's 100% right. Andy, I'd have took him off at half time. I would have said to him, just sit down, you're not going back out. I'd have put Sakala on in that position at half time. How he lasted so long in the game is totally beyond me, because I just thought he was dreadful the night. So he was.
Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. You say I would have definitely, but I was shouting at half time, screaming, make a change, please make a change. Get him off, get Hagi off, please, and change him for Sakala.
Andy, be fair. At half time, you could have taken 6 or 7 off. You've got to be honest about this, because there's always written. Tavernier's a written ball, right, and there's 1 or 2 others, and Hagi's one of them. But I liked him. Even in the second half, he wasn't having a good game, right? He wasn't having a good game, and this is where I will defend him, right? But he was doing the effort, and he was running, and he was trying to close down players. We know he's not got the pace, right? That's the fact. Because if Hagi had the pace, as we all say, he wouldn't have been playing the Scottish football for Glasgow Rangers. So I think it's hard when you pick on one player. I don't like this when you pick on one player and another 5 or 6 players have not done the same as him, but you don't mention them. So please, and he didn't have a good game. I was the first to say it, but don't be too critical.
I'll cut across you. We've been joined for David Spain. How are we doing, David?
Brand new guys. I phoned, but I was ready not to answer the phone, to be honest with you, man. I don't agree. I'm a Hagi fan myself, you know.
Okay, yeah. He's one of my all-time favourites, Rudy Bear.
It's just that you need to remember how young this boy is and how much fucking pressure he's got in his shoulders. His dad was Georgie Hagi, for God's sake.
That's not really got anything to do with
multi-millionaire at 21 years of age.
It has got something to do with young about that boy's been brought up with pressure, we know. But see, playing for Rangers, that's a different pressure altogether. We should all know that, man.
Rudy?
You're all sitting here listening to yourself.
David,
saying,
you can only...
We expect.
David, you can only see what you see, though. You know what I mean? When you're watching a game of football, if a player doesn't play well, you've got to say he doesn't play well. There's no use here blowing smoke up them, is there, at the end of the day? Hagi was awful.
No, but I know it's not that. It's when it's not that he... we can, fuck's sake, we can all know.
Oh, seeing you lost David there. I get his point. Look, you can only treat. For me, he was the worst player, but at times I thought the 2 wide men were pretty poor. They weren't alone tonight. We know that, but it's all about the 3 points, and we got the 3 points. Rudy Bear.
100%, Ox. That's all I care about. I just care about the 3 points. You know, if you told me before the game we'd run 1-0 with a Kemar Roof penalty and we come away with the 3 points, it's a bridge, man, isn't it? You know, if we get that. If we get that all the way from now to the end of the season, I'll take that in Ox, you know what I mean? Look, Easter Road's a hard place to go. Hibs never make it easy for us, Ox. It's never easy against them. Well, 9 times out of 10 it's no. They put up, you know, this is like their cup final when they play us, so it is, you know, and every time we play them, they always give it a good go. And that's what they done tonight. They were at home in front of their own fans. He gave it a good go, you know, so they certainly didn't make it easy for us. And certainly we could have played a lot better, you know, individually and collectively. But as you say, Ox, we came away with the 3 points, and in the grand scheme of things, that's all that really matters in football, Ox.
Evening, Ox.
How we doing, Tommy boy?
Not bad, mate, not bad. That was a hard watch.
I've recommended that Andy for Leeds watches it again when he's calmed down, but he can watch it on his own.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll be watching on his Todd, Ox. I agree with one or two of the callers. I thought Hagi was awful. I mean, it's unusual for me to say. I thought Stephen Davis was really poor as well. Ox.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
unusual.
I didn't think he had a great game. Didn't have a good game at all.
You know, but I agree with one of the other guys said I thought Kamara was brilliant. Ox.
And that's Robert, but he's a football genius. He said that,
Yeah,
Robert.
I've just been watching the highlights there with Kenny and
The highlights, that would it.
well, but when they're both saying it's a debatable penalty. Ox, I'm a referee. That's a stone wall penalty. He's caught him. He's caught him
all day long.
Yeah,
all
contact.
day long.
Yeah,
I mean, even with VAR or whatever you want to call it, that's a penalty, Ox. And
It's a
even Jack
penalty.
Ross has come on. Ross has come on and said he would be looking for it as well. It's a penalty.
I've got to say, I don't dislike Jack Ross. I think he's one of the decent guys in football. And that's him saying he thinks it was a penalty. That boy Porteous, he's fast, he's brave, he can pass the ball, but he's nuts.
Oh, he was annoyed because his mate had already gone off the park, and Alfred already gone off. They didn't have a fight with Alfred the night, so he was a bit upset.
I get it. But look, Tommy, it was all about the 3 points and we got them, eh?
Absolutely. I mean, I know they had a couple of incidents. I thought Connor Golson didn't have a bad game, Ox. I didn't think he had a great game. I didn't think he had a bad game. And when he took that halfway Nesbitt's toe, and he's about to poke it in, I thought it was a great challenge.
that was a fantastic challenge.
Aye.
I mean, the boys just went to put it up. I mean, if you really think of the game, though, Ox, Alan McGregor's not a save. I don't recall Alan McGregor having a save.
No, but I don't think their goalie did. Well, maybe a couple, but a couple for Kent shots, yeah.
Well, he certainly wouldn't have saved that one for Kent, Ox. I mean, I know nearly supporters he see that, but I don't think he'd have saved it.
No. But Hibs who were after us, we've got exactly double their points. There you go. A few weeks ago, they were trying to challenge us for the league with 18 points.
Was like they were saying at the beginning, Ox, they hadn't lost in the first 7 games of the season. Never lost a game.
Correct. You know, and listen, that's 4 wins in a row in the league. So let's go on a run. We were worried about this period, Tommy, and knew because we did 2 away games, tricky away games. We'll still get Hearts next week. But the 4 out of the next 6 games are at Ibrox, yeah. Let's go and get a run, make it 10 wins in a row or something, yeah.
I think Giovanni's looking at the players and he knows what he's looking at, Ox. I think he knows what players he probably is going to want, and I think he's not daft Van Bronckhorst. I think he knows what he's going to be looking at.
Absolutely. So these guys only been in 10 days, eh? Do you know what I mean? So
exactly. He's not been able time to really influence the team yet, mate. Yeah.
No.
Well, he's got 3 wins under his belt now, Ox, isn't he? You know, so long may it continue. You know, if he keeps building a bit of confidence in the team, and even these scrappy games like tonight at Easter Road, you know, if they keep picking up points away from home like that, you know, even in scrappy games, it still builds confidence.
The last 4 league games, mate, we were away to Motherwell, away to Livingston, and away to Hibs, obviously home to Ross County, right?
Yeah.
We've took maximum points. We've scored 14 goals and conceded, 4? It's not bad, is it?
That's all right. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the beauty. That's the beauty, because we can criticise and we pick the bones out on Rangers Radio. We always pick the bones out of the performances. But you know what? That's a fantastic one. We went to Livingston, we went to Hibs and we won. And we didn't play great tonight. Although we played well against Livingston, we didn't play well tonight. But you know what? That's a sign of champions. That's what we are. Scotland's number 1, because you go there and you grind the result. And we can all have wee goals at Hagi wasn't good, Tav wasn't great, Davis wasn't great. Right, pick the bones of it. But you know what? We got the 3 points.
3 points, I agree with you there, Robert.
Aye, and you come, Andy.
I totally agree with Robert. We won at our best, and as I say, maybe I was all right. I only pointed at Hagi being absolutely woeful tonight, but at the end of the day, there was nobody you could really, apart from I would say Kamara, who I thought was outstanding. But at the end of the day, as Robert said, the 3 points was the main important thing tonight, and when I went in after the goalie's arse, we wouldn't have cared. But it's 3 points, and that's all that matters. We move on to the next game.
Listen, Andy, thanks for the call, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
No bother. Right, good night, guys.
Thanks, Andy.
We've also been joined by another Andy. That's Andy's left because too many Andys. It's Andy. Andy, don't watch that back, mate.
Good evening, guys. Listen, you was talking me around before it. You can forget it. I'll stick to the way I watch.
I hope you're going to be positive. You better be positive, Mr. Andy.
Listen, this is a new Andy, Robert. Don't you worry about that. My take on this is, right, I think we were slightly better than them in the first half with just poor decision making. Terrible miss by Morales. Unbelievable, to be honest with you. Second half, I thought we dropped even a wee bit down there. I think when Arfield came on and he started busting through the middle, it opened up a wee bit. Hibs didn't know what to do then, and I think Arfield changed the game. It's a massive 3 points because it's 3 games in a row now, 3 clean sheets. You've got to take confidence out of that. I think Kent and...
Are you forgetting about the goal that Livingston scored at the weekend?
Which one was that? I forgot. I didn't watch it back. That's right. Aye, okay, that's right. You got me there, right? Oh, dear me. Jesus Christ. Come on, Andy. Get a grip.
Andy, you give him an open goal sometimes. You really do.
I know, but that's what makes me who I am, isn't it, really?
Well done, Andy.
I forgot that. I did. That's right. I did. Oh, never mind. Okay. Right, okay. I thought McGregor saved it, to be honest with you, but obviously no.
All right, let's put it this way. They never scored in your house. Right,
that's right. That was a real nervy for me. I never sat down once. I'm standing right on top of the telly. She come and say, what are you doing? I said, just away out there and just let me get on with this, will you? But it didn't really look like we were going to lose a goal, apart from the odd two. But I thought Golston and Kent were terrible. I really did. Kent came into it a wee bit in the second half. I'm glad because I was shouting for him half. So I'm glad he left him on that couple of extra minutes, but obviously he took his man and got the penalty. And that gave us a chance to get the 3 points. Fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted. I mean,
Andy, can I interrupt you? Andy, can I interrupt you there?
Robert. Calm down.
Sorry.
Andy. No, you. Robert, you calm down. Your missus will be...
Sorry.
Right,
go on, Robert, anyway.
Andy, it was all about the result, yeah? And I'll bring in Robert Weatherall next, if that's all right with you, Andy.
Yeah, that's fine. You're the man. Yeah, definitely. Listen, it was definitely the right result for us. We stuck to our guns, didn't we? And we got with just desserts in the end, right enough. It wasn't great. I think the man of the match was the Rangers fans today, to be honest with you.
And we come, Robert.
No, I'd just like to pick up on something that Andy about saying Golston was poor. And you really realise, what about that one at the end of the first half when Golston throws it behind the goal? If it doesn't get it, that's a goal.
I'll cut across you, Robert. We've been joined by Eddie. Yeah, how are we doing, Eddie?
What's happening, troops? It said in Ed 420 here. It was just first time call. It was just about Hagi. Obviously, the young man has a different games now and then, but I think he's the only one who's prepared to put the ball in or put a run in that nobody else is prepared to do. He's prepared to take that risk. So he's one of the ones that if he's not playing well, he'll take the stick, putting that pass in that might not always work out. That's one of the reasons, obviously, he receives so much flack.
I get that when he tries things and they don't come off. But the night, for me, and I'll be honest here, I think everybody knows
he was really poor.
He was anonymous tonight, mate. You can, in and out of possession, he was poor, mate. He was
poor. Wee man always puts a shift in, but he's poor in that. But he does take a lot of stick sometimes for stuff that nobody else is really prepared to do. But I think Arfield, he takes a lot of stick as well, and he doesn't get the respect that he's probably shown. He's the other one that will go beyond the strikers that nobody else is prepared to do. Might be getting a wee bit older, but he's always prepared to put that run in past the strikers.
I think that was a lovely move when Roof chested it down for him, and Arfield burst through. Maybe 5 years ago, Scotty would have burst through, but obviously just didn't quite realise got a shot away,
He doesn't have the legs anymore, but he still has that positional play that you can see. It's the same at the weekend when obviously they go against Livingston.
You can tell when he's on the pitch, he's one of our leaders, yeah?
Aye, definitely. Mm-hmm. He's always prepared to put that shift in. He's always prepared to die for that badge.
If I've been honest, Eddie, people might have picked up, I'm not a big fan of Hagi, but what I will say, I don't think that's his position out wide, if I'm being really honest about it.
No.
Nah, he's not that person to be stuck on the flank. No, the formation that Van Bronckhorst has brought in, that 4-2-3-1 where the wide men stay wide and the centre forward stays forward and doesn't come in. That wide position for Hagi doesn't stick. He's very
I agree with you about Hagi, right? I think he's one of the players we've got that can see a pass that most other players won't see, and he sees a pass and he can make these passes. And I think when he's playing really well, he's a really, really good player. So he is, and he always tries. He'll always try to do something to affect the game. But honestly, Eddie, I would have took him off at half time and put Sakala into that right position. I thought he was awful in that first half.
I'd have probably took him off after half an hour. But he's always one of the ones. If you take him off, you run that risk of you can always make something happen. That's the problem with him. You take him off, you lose that risk of that bit of magic. He could play for 85 minutes and do nothing, and then 2 minutes into the game, he can play that bit of magic to get you to go to win the match.
I know, but to be
one of the high and low points.
You could put Robert Weatherall on there, make him start up front, he might do something good, yeah? You know what I mean?
You could put me up there and I'd maybe do the same.
Exactly. There's more to a game than one pass in 90 minutes, mate. You have to, it's a team game. And you have to show, you have to work, and you have to do the right thing for the team. Look, listen, Hagi might not have been our best player tonight, but he wasn't alone. It wasn't a great team performance, Eddie.
Definitely, but he got that revenge that we needed. But it's still the 3 points that we needed as well. Definitely. That's it, mate. Definitely.
Aye. Who's Sean for you tonight? Who's Sean?
Well, it's a hard one, really, isn't it? Tamara played outstanding again, but when does he know? And Aribo as well. Aribo's probably been outstanding all season. So it's a choice between the two, isn't it, really?
Big Bassey?
Big Bassey's been outstanding since he's come out at centre-half, or left centre-half.
Rudy Bear?
He just doesn't get...
I couldn't disagree with that. I think he's just grown into the position, Ox, and it's. I think we're seeing the blossom of a young player here learning a position. I mean, the last 3 games, I just think he's been excellent. I think he's been up there to be he's been one of our top players in the last 3 games. And for a young guy that we saw, I know he partnered Balogun, away in Prague. And we thought it was a disaster at centre-half that night. He's still half learned the position, Ox, and he's really getting to grips with it. Don't know how long Big Philip's going to be out for, but I tell you what, there's going to be a fight for that jersey at some point, because now they know they've got a young centre-back that can also play. He's just as good, if no better, at left-back, So there's a few players in that team now who need to be looking over their shoulder at Big Shirley now, I would think.
Right, we've got a choice here. You can either hear for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst or Jim Fay Paisley. Who would you rather hear for?
Oh, it's going to be Jim Fay Paisley, surely.
I'm a big fan of Jim Fay Paisley myself, you know what I mean?
Get old Davey on.
Jim's always a good caller.
How are we doing, James?
Fine. Great. Great. I'm good enough, fine. Listen, we walked to Easter Road with 3 points tonight. That's the main thing.
Here, bro.
Excuse me.
It wasn't the greatest watching the world. Andy's going to stay up watching it tonight, but it wasn't the greatest watching the world.
Andy, go to your bed early night, pal.
Don't worry about that, Jim. There'll be no way I'll be watching that again, I can assure you. Not even the highlights.
What highlights? Was there highlights? All right. No. Andy, I'll watch it again tomorrow. I see what the highlights are really like,
Right, you boys, get yourself on mute, because we're going to hear from your manager quickly, and then we'll come back to Jim Fay Paisley. We'll hear from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Just how big a win was that tonight?
A very big win. I mean, a tough game as we expected before the game, and I think the game showed it was really close. A lot of physical play from both sides, and not many chances. I must say. But yeah, of course we will take the win because it's 3 more points for us.
What was the key thing tonight? Was it keeping the concentration levels high, persevering, and going to the end?
Well, I think the game was was decided by transition moments. I think we, especially the first half, we had some good moments to score. Great chance for Morelos. Also, the second half, you could see when we won the ball, then we got the spaces to attack. We weren't too sharp in those moments, and I think we also give a lot of loose balls away. So we had a transition moment to defend as well, and I think those moments were there for both teams. But luckily for us, we came away with a win.
Yeah, you look at some of the defending, like Connor Goldson, early in the second half, and you mentioned defending at the start of the game. Was that a pleasing aspect as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's. I think we had. It's always good, especially to places like Hips away. You know, it's a tough opponent, and they're a good side, very well organized, and so to keep the 0 here for us is massive because we knew we always get chances, and today we scored from a penalty, and after that we controlled the game with the substitution. You know, I put in Lundstrom, so we had defensively after that we were very solid. So very pleased with the win.
Roof comes on, he scores. Is that what it's going to take in terms of using the squad and competition up front?
There has to be competition in any team, in any squad. So I have to pick my 11 and also change the game with my subs. So you know, I think that's my role, to see what the team needs at moments of the game. And, you know, I wanted to bring in Sakala. And then we got the penalty and I switched to Lundstrom. So those are moments you have to decide. And I think today I decided well.
I decided well. It's not for everybody. Jimmy Paisley.
Well, I don't think he did decide well, actually. I hate to contradict the manager. Still like me. We did begin the season when the other manager was here.
I spend my life contradicting managers, Jim, so don't worry about it.
And there was a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes I would have made if I was Gio Van Bronckhorst. You know? Especially maybe no at half time, but maybe 47 minutes or something. You know, there was certain players on that pitch. There was been some howlers tonight.
Right, I'm going to put it to this here, and I'm going to go to young Eddie's ways, who's obviously intelligent, yeah? That's my third game in 6 days. Nanes have took that into consideration, and it's pretty much been the same team. Eddie? Oh, Eddie's dropped to it, has he? Maybe has. Rudy Bear. It's true, it's my third game in 6 days.
Absolutely, third game in 6 days, and we've had 3 wins, Ox. You know, you can't ask any more of the team or Gio. I certainly would like to see better football and all that. But as you say, it's pretty consistent as far as his team selections went in the last 3 games. I think it's been like one change. He brought Davis back in and dropped Scotty Arfield for the weekend. I've always said this. See, if you have a winning team, you just keep playing them. You let them play. You make a couple of changes here and there when needed to affect the game if it's not going your way. Like he did tonight when he brought Roof on. Can't get the penalty. Roof puts it in the back of the net. You know, Sakala comes on at the weekend, gets the third goal to make it a bit easier for us in the last few minutes of the game. You know,
Andy Felix, us as fans will say, oh, they're this, they're that, the other. But the pros will tell you, third game in 6 days, it's a lot.
Well, you know, I said in the pre-match show here, I think we come through this 10 a lot. 7 of them are away, and we get in it. And we know we like to see fast-flowing free football for Rangers. But at this moment in time, it's making sure we cement these points, getting these. If we come out of this 10 with, you know, near enough maximum points, we're setting ourselves up for the third part of the season where we can really go and put the marker down to go. So. Yeah, of course we do. It's you know. You knew what you're going to get with these people. You know what I mean? It's always going to be that way. So we come out there. For me, I'm very, very happy tonight that we won the game. Wasn't great. No, I think players underperformed. Yes, I think quite a lot of them. But sometimes when you look back, if we won the league, you look at that game and go, there you go. You know, so that's how I'm looking at it. I think we're all right. This is 2 banana skins that we come through now. Hopefully we go out on Saturday and give Dundee a sore one and bring the goals down. That's what I'm looking for now.
Aye, well, we've now got 6 games up to. We have 2 tricky away games before the break and 4 of them at Ibrox, so we're looking to go on a run, if that makes sense. Jim?
Well, the thing I was going to say, Oxy, right now, with a semi-final against was it last? I don't know what day it is actually. Last week. Anyway, with the semi-final game, I would rather have won this game tonight rather than won the semi-final game, if that makes sense to anybody. I know we want to win every game.
The league's the most important thing, Jim.
It's the most important thing. But it's all right getting into a cup final, but if we lose tonight, so that means the purpose. I'd rather win tonight. If you had the choice, if you had the choice of the two, I would rather win the night than win the semi-final. That's what I was trying to say. Does that make sense to him? Am I talking about garbage again?
Jim, can I come in there? Jim, can I say to you, is that only because we lost the semi-final? You're saying that because Rangers' history has been built on winning trophies, and to me, no, I'd have rather won the semi-final because we are built on winning trophies, 115 domestic trophies. So I don't agree with that because we need to win trophies, and that's what Rangers are all about. That's why we are one of the most successful clubs in the world.
Robert, what I was trying to say, if we had a choice of the two, that's what I was trying to say. If you would give you the choice, if you had to lose one of these games, these 2 fixtures between Hibs,
but Jim, right, you can always get the league back, right? So if you lose a league game and you're only a point in front, you can always rectify that. But you can't rectify a cup semi-final. And I'm sorry, I'd have rather won this semi-final. And I know we don't get money for it. It's no worth like Europe, UEFA Cup. We can get maybe a £2 million Europa League. I would have rather won the semi-final because I've been brought up as a Rangers fan to win trophies, to win trebles, 76, 78, under Walter Smith, under Alex McLeish. That's the way I've been brought up, under Dick Advocat. So I'm sorry, I want to win trophies. I don't want to get beat the semi-final and get beat with Hibs. I'm sorry.
Never said that. You never said that, Robert. Anyway.
I know he didn't.
Can I just jump in there? I'm with you, Jim. I get exactly what you're saying. If I had a choice, don't get me wrong, I don't want to lose any semi-final. Certainly not in the manner that we did lose it.
You can get a pill for that, Rudy, if you keep losing the semi, mate.
But I totally get what you're saying, Jim. I'm with you 100%. Give me the league wins all day long, because at the end of this league title, if we're champions, the financial bonus for being champions this year is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be massive. You're talking about somewhere around about 40 million. Right? Yeah, if we get to the end of the season, and if we only won this league title by 1 point, and we go into the Champions League and collect that huge amount of money for taking part in the Champions League, I'll have forgotten all about a League Cup final. I'll have forgotten about that performance that happened. I'll be that happy. So I'm with you, Jim. I totally get what you're saying, mate. I agree with you.
Yeah. Anyway, good point, well made. Robert, he's not alone in that opinion. Andy Felix, I don't see the fullbacks bombing forward the way they done under Stevie G. Is that making us harder to score against?
Possibly, and he's possibly brought that into their mindset. If you look at it, he's wanting to shore it up. He did actually say that he needs to, thrive in the moments that we need to do up top. But he also said that we need to control the game at the back, so he's possibly brought that in. I was quite, you know what I think about Bassey, but I really got in and blocked that. I've got to say him, he played a little bit better than where he's been playing. So maybe that was a good block there for Boyle, right enough. So yeah, he was shying out of him, and he actually got himself in front of that and stopped it. So I'll give him kudos for that. Yeah, well, he's got the problem. He's got games coming at him thick and fast at the moment. So he's getting time to get on the training field with him as well. So while we're playing all these games, as I keep saying, pick up the points. The rest will take care of itself. I think he's pretty shrewd. He just talked there in the interview. I'll make decisions what I think at the right time. I was going to bring Sasha on, but no, we got the penalty. So I put, the Scouse boy on, so there you go. I like what I'm hearing of him at the moment. I don't think he's anybody's fool, and I also think he's picking out. He's looking at what's getting him now. He'll know what he's going to keep or take along with him, and he'll know who's going out of the club. So all's good if we can get the performance out of him. Because my worry was when Gerrard went, a lot of them would drop. Well, they don't seem to have done that. They seem to be sticking at it. So that's a plus.
I think that's a good point you make, Ox. So I think that's exactly what we're seeing. I think we're a bit tougher to score against now because our fullbacks are all bombing up the park the way they were. And let's be honest about it. If Borna Barisic, and especially James Tavernier, with the stats that he's got with goals and assists, if he could defend as well, he wouldn't be in Scotland. So you're going to lose goals when your fullbacks are so far up the park trying to affect the play around about the edge of the 18-yard box and crossing balls into the box for the forwards and all that. You're going to lose goals. It's as simple as that. So it's, you can have one or the other. You can't have both. I like the way he's pulling them back a wee bit there and saying to them, let the forwards, let the midfield do the attacking work. If you get the opportunity, take it. But don't be bombing up and down that park all day long. I like that.
I'm sorry.
Carry on, Jim.
No, I was going to say they're right there because I never saw James Tavernier in the last 20 minutes of that. Well, the mid 20 minutes of the second half actually. I never saw him in the game. But we're used to him doing that wing and flying doing that wing. In fact, I'm not sure if he picked up a wee injury or no. I wasn't sure if Parson was going to come on for him. He picked up a wee kind of niggle he was doing, and I don't know if he recovered for that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not a trainee or a physician.
We'll get Andy. Andy will phone in after he's watched it back and let us know what happened. Andy,
I'll not be watching any back whether we win 5 or no. I don't believe you. You just get at it all the time, aren't you? What's that?
See, Andy, you see that streaker? We see that one. That comes on. That's a cracker. The streaker comes on.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll keep my eye. Was that the one with the blue flare or the green one, by the way?
Listen, just to let you know, Andy, flares are out of fashion, yeah? Right. Look, it was all about the 3 points tonight, Robert. The leagues were priority. Obviously, always is. I get your point about the cups, but difficult place to go. Third game in 6 days. It's a great 3 points, Robert.
Yeah, listen, I'm hurting about that cup semi-final defeat, right? I'm just like every blue nose out there. We don't like when we lose, especially cup semi-finals. But at the end of the day, well done to the Rangers, right? Do you know what? Because that was a hard place to go to, right? And they were always going to be up for it. And I'd love to give you my opinion about Ryan Porteous, but I'll keep that to myself. And well done to the Rangers. And I always, as much as I say, I was kind of going, Gio, come on, make substitutions after 50 minutes. But you know what? He's a manager. Love him to bits. And we got the result, right? That's Livingston away, dodgy pitch. We won 3-1. Hibs away. And you know what? Dundee's at home at Ibrox next. And then we've got Hearts away. And then 3 home games. Let's do it. Come on, the Rangers.
Here. Andy, look, as the circumstances in the last 6 days after the disappointment of the cup, the new managers come in, got them up. You've got to say that things are looking as if they're on a slight upward curve, mate.
Well, it looks that way. I know that we were all shouting that the semi-final there, when why is he not going down and told them all that? But you didn't see it to me. He sat there. If you watch some of his expressions when he was talking to the guys around him, not like this is not right. So he's actually learnt something himself about his team. The result wasn't great and we're not in the final. And as Robert said, Robert knows exactly what I think about Rangers winning trophies and all that, right enough, and where we've been over the last few years, not winning them. But we have to, on this particular season, I think the big picture is we must get into that, that Champions League. That's a ball changer for Rangers, finance and everything, back where we believe we should be. And that money is an whole different ball game. It sets it up for better players that Gio wants to bring in. So for me, I think he sat there, and hindsight's great, isn't it? But I think he sat there. He saw a lot that he didn't like, and he also said, because I've been kind of studying him since he's been here listening, and he also said there's things I can do with these players that I've got to know that I can tweak, and it looks like he's done that at the minute.
Sorry, I forgot. Tommy's sitting there. Tommy, very rude of me, mate. I didn't realise you were still on the call.
That's all right, Ox. I'm just listening. I love listening into the call. It's no bother, Ox. It's all right. It's good. It's good. I agree with what's going on, but is it Jim with the semi-final? Didn't bother me. I'm with the other guy, Ox. Let's get in that Champions League. Let's win that league. Get in that Champions League and pick up the money.
And what about the result? Third game in 6 days in
professional. It's like you said, Ox. Three games. I'll be played on the Thursday, played on the Sunday, played the night. We've got another game Saturday. Good thing about Saturday's game is at Ibrox. Yeah, exactly. And the only thing I would say, Ox, it's good he's not changed the team that much. You said to them players, go out there and show me what you can do.
Aye, they've got a month tomorrow to put a shift in the next 31 days. And then they go on a break. So give us everything you've got, and this is where you win the league. This point of the season, yeah, Jim.
I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if Giovanni Brancours goes through the rest of the season without losing a game. It'd be really kudos that would be. It'd be fantastic. We could sit back again and go, this reminds me of last season. It'd be great. It'd be fantastic. I think. By the way, it's on the cards. He's no lost a game yet. No. Let's continue with this. The performances aren't great. We all realise that. Folks. Come on, if everybody's honest with it, and especially this evening's performance. There are certain people you think, and we could all slag the same players all the time. I'm fed up doing it. And let's go through the rest of the season unbeaten. Let's do that.
Well, sounds good to me. Rudy Bear.
I'd take that right now, Jimmy, to be honest. It'd certainly be good for my ticker if that happened. But it's right what you say, Ox. 3 games in 6 days, it's a huge amount of football to be playing the same team in the 3 games as well. But what it does do is it helps build consistency. So it does in your team selection, and you just, make one or two changes here and there, or you're affecting the game by bringing a couple of substitutes on as Gio's already done. For me, the games are just going to keep coming thick and fast. If we can, as you say, Ox, the next month, if we can get through the next month, pick up maximum points, you get into the winter shutdown and they can have a right good break there. But they need to be out there and they need to be going for 3 points in every single game, stay at the top of the league, and it puts pressure on the other side. That's exactly what it does, because they're constantly playing catch-up. Constantly, and if you keep them constantly having to play catch up, you'll start to see cracks. I'm absolutely convinced of it. You'll see cracks.
Yeah. Right, okay. Last word for you, Tommy.
Yep, agree with that, Ox. I totally agree. Let's keep going. Another month. We go the month undefeated. Let's get into the winter break with a nice wee relaxing gap. Yeah, couldn't be that, Ox.
Yeah. Andy for Leeds.
Yeah, I'm with you guys here lately. We can get as many points as we can off the body and make sure if we can go in 4, or even if it's at that, and we can go and do them, up there, then it would be 7 if we can keep the points. So yeah, come on, we can do this. It's a matter of just getting our act together. It's in there. So winning breeds confidence, no matter who you win. It's as simple as that. In my eyes.
All right, cheers, mate. Jim for Paisley.
Well, the way I look at it, we're still top of the league with 4 or 5 points at the end of February. The league's won.
Hope you're right, mate. Hope you're right. And the last word to Robert Weatherall.
Well, coming up, 4 home games at Ibrox, away to Hearts, away to Aberdeen, win all the games, and then take it down to the East End of Glasgow on the 2nd of January. Win that game, 7 points in front, and the Rangers will win the league if that happens.
Cheers, mate. It's over to you. Thanks for the calls, lads. Rudy Bear.
Thanks for the calls. Great calls. And usually I sit back and watch the game the next morning. I won't be watching that one again, Ox. But look, it was a great 3 points. All right, so it's Ibrox on Saturday. and it's Dundee. Let's continue the winning run under Geo Walks. Thanks very much for having me on with you, mate.
Oh, not at all, mate. Thanks to all the boys that phoned in. The two Andys, Andy for Leeds and Crookston, Robert Wirral, Lord Jim, Tommy for Baldner, and of course Davey for Spain. I hope I've not missed anybody out. Don't think I've read for listening. And of course, thanks to you, Rudy Bear, for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Remind you, if you get a couple of seconds, anybody hasn't, sign my petition. We're trying to do a good thing for the club, we think. Get Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. We'll be joined by the one and only Jaffa and Linda. Take it away, Old School Blue.
The greatest team of all. We support the Glasgow Rangers, do not Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plain. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all.